in a waking dream of unburied murder. Christie's Argus eyes descend to the gun room below. Under all the tall stories and ivory towers, at the base of the noble mind, here we know. The viral Prof Plum has Scarlet software on his hard drive. In your What Happens Next, whodunit waits upon our word. Your class is the village's vampire, my child, the dead past sucking the rosy future's blood. Now your father lies dead in a corona of thorns, evil future injected in his old lead money veins. Play their Roman church candle shtick, fall guy, and boom! Nothing on earth to lose but your chains. All those grey, blue-rinsed white lies they told me, Aunt Jane. And that ethical farmer, so reverend green, just to ravish Dad's blood-watered crops, not me. Plumski's deep-frozen spirit was never so mean. But his young man's fever dream, in his old man's fevered crown, through your guilt, Poirot cries, is controlling your brain. Life is evil, made do. Made old, your old maid, sobs the prof. Or made good. Be the star of her fallen morning, pleads Jane. Plum remembers that spring atop the Winter Palace. The warm youth he was, she has now. And then, to save her young heart, he blows out his brains. Poirot ducks, Marple sighs. An heroic, unhappy, almost English, dead end. Old Saxon boneyards, and island nations sand-rand, white builders' man vans, behind a fallen apple tree. Not to mention Postman Pat, in a moonstone bright, ghost office delivery juggernaut for Mrs. White. In her past tense, authoritarian, straight linear, cause effect, oxygen supply demand, bourgeois realist plot. In my beginning is my Middle England ever after revenge narrative with farm views, planetary extinction cul-de-sac. Of Argos ventilators, Amazon vaccines, gowns and masks from China, a morgue suite from Iceland, amend and make do PPE packet from kitchen and hall, and a private hospice the size of a small town from Bathware. Behind, a rather remote-looking doctor to whom she just gave her symptoms. Being tracked 20 gridlocked miles out of Lee Harvey Oswald Drive, The cyber troll.
Who?
Shouts.
Who?
WHO. Who done it?
Who?
He carried it here in his TARDIS.
He's a nasty man.
We all done it, says D.I. Ken Hill. We are all the murderer, and we are all the victim. Away. But the self-isolation in the public spirit and the self-isolation of self-interest are not at all the same. There is one here who murders society itself, who is not at all a good bourgeois. He appears on the surface. In his masks of China and his gloves of Italy and Spain and his mend and make do or die PPE kits of Little England in the Styx. He is the one to blame, as the coroner will explain. He is the Cain. Or she, coughs Jane.
Stuck behind me.
Block the Boudica Trail up the B666. This ain't the road to midsummer maidens in the taverns next the woods. This is the road to Dis. The brown lady appears with a headless Dr. Black. She's rather late with all the traffic. She's speaking through the flak. Krishna's eyes in your peacock tail. Give them back. Snow White takes them out in a panic attack. Not part of culture. Not part of pack. End of Series 1.